One thing that's clear is the Guthrie family believes there is at least a chance the ransom notes are from Nancy's captor or captors.
You were apprehended for questioning. How would you describe what happened to you?
Terrifying. Something I didn't do for something. I was being like, I felt like I was being, bro. They didn't tell me anything at the beginning.
And investigators showed up to this house, or were you the one who was pulled over in the traffic stop?
I was the one that was pulled over at the traffic stop.
Where was that?
Right here on by Chubasco.
Okay, and you were taken into custody at that point?
Yeah.
And you were...
I was being detained.
Detained, okay.
I was detained the whole time.
Okay,
That's what they told me.
Where were they
At
holding
the
you?
back of a car.
Back of
a
a car.
Marana car, and then they moved me into a Pima County Sheriff.
Were you being questioned in the car?
At the Marana car, I was being questioned, but they only asked me for my first name, my last name, my date of birth, and my social.
Okay. What were they asking you about?
Where my whereabouts.
Okay.
Where did I work? Where was I? And all that. But
Are you ever up in Tucson?
yeah, I work in Tucson.
What do you do?
GLS, deliver packages.
Okay, do you think you might have delivered a package to Nancy Guthrie's house?
I don't know. Might have been a possibility. I don't know.
Yeah, do you ever deliver like Amazon packages or anything?
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So do you think you may...
Yeah, Brian, that search happened right behind me. It went on for a couple of hours. There were all types of, law enforcement vehicles, police tape, the red and blue lights. And then all of a sudden, investigators just packed it up and took off. And at that point, we had access to the house that was being searched. And I talked to a man named Carlos. He told us that he was the guy who was detained for questioning during a traffic stop. And he says he had nothing to do with the Nancy Guthrie. Here's my interaction with Carlos.
First of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love.
Yes, I don't always rush in to report things I don't know anything about. This is my first video on this topic. Since they start searching this lady, I've not reported a single video. I saw this on Twitter. Carlos says he had no involvement in Nancy's disappearance and maintained his innocence after being questioned. He has now been released. Did the Trump DOJ just arrest someone because he was brown? According to a New York Times report, authorities had detained a man during a traffic stop as part of the investigation into Nancy's disappearance, but he was later freed following questioning. There is something I want to underline here. Did the Trump DOJ just arrest someone because he was brown? I don't know if this guy has evidence to prove that they arrested this guy because of his skin color or what exactly. I don't know why they do this every single time. It gets me offended when people take things like this struggle to politicize. I don't know.
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare. I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for all of the prayers and the love that we have felt, my sister and brother and I, and that our mom has felt. Because we believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place. We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
An hour of desperation. Savannah there, having a little makeup on, having done her hair a little bit. And of course, you have the online nuts who are like, I would never, if my mother were missing, I would never put on a stitch of makeup. Okay, Savannah has obviously had the hardest week plus of her life. Those videos showing her incredibly raw without hair and makeup done are what's real. And as somebody who does the hair and makeup virtually every day, I completely related to that feeling of when things are really hard, you don't do it. And it's part of your depression, your sadness, and your inability barely to get out of bed. So the fact that Savannah's functioning, was able to drag herself in front of the camera the past couple of times to issue those other videos is pretty Herculean and impressive.
Yes, Director Cash sent this out on X. The Envy is offering a reward up to $50,000 for information leading up to the recovery on Nancy or the arrest and conviction of anyone involved in her disappearance. Now, new images released today show an armed individual appearing to have tampered with the camera. You can clearly actually see the photos here. I don't know why all the photos are actually dark like this.
Okay, so we're going to play it one more time, the latest video, and get your take on what, if anything, you think has changed here. Here it is. This was released on Saturday night.
We received your message and we understand.
Dan.
It's heartbreaking. I saw hundreds of these pleas from families from all over the world to try and bring their loved one home that was taken hostage by the white.
Dan, I just have a really hard time believing the people writing these notes were involved in Nancy's case.
100%, and that's you're not a H&R, a K&R background or hostage negotiator, but I had that suspicion literally from almost day one when the first ransom note came out. First off, they sent the ransom note to TMZ, a tabloid network, and then the local news media. All right, that's not how K&R ransom works.
I believe you sent this video. The kind of criticism I saw on social media, I don't know how people expect her to look like she should be dirty to do these videos. Some criticize her like, why should you be putting on makeup? Why should you be dressing? I don't get the point. If you are put in these positions, I don't know how you're going to do it. But looking at this lady, she's desperate. Yeah. Allow her to do it the way she can. When I see people on social media struggling to interfere into things that doesn't even concern them, it gets me so worried. Cash put this out. Additional recovery images from the same camera and Nancy front door the morning of her disappearance, including 2 videos of the individuals. Anyone with information, please contact this. Okay, you can clearly see that there are even videos, the release videos of the guy, but everything is dark. That is what I realized on this. At some point, some people say it's because all the street in this area, they don't actually have, I don't know if they are not light or what exactly. Now looking at this guy, he was detained. I cannot say actually arrested. He was detained for questioning. Libras are struggling to change the narrative, to say some kind of things that I don't understand. If they are suspecting you on something, it is important. If they realize you are innocent, it's very important they will release you. There is no harm in doing that. He said the question him because maybe his eyes look like this same person. Yeah, it's the same thing we saw in the days of Charlie. They had to investigate a lot of people, so allow law enforcement to do their job. Don't interfere. Thank you guys for always being there, sharing out the videos. God bless you abundantly. As of the short clips, that is for the YT algorithm. You can always keep.
But these folk are crashing out, and it's like halftime show.
Thanks to God.
Exactly. And this goes out to
halftime show.
What do you mean figure out?
Figure out, like just deliver something that the diehard fans really want.
Okay, I thought he was just trying to show that he was a little muscular.
Critics did not like it.
Most comments I've heard in a while.
You were releasing it. Why did you not?
Eyes out.
Gervais once told the award show crowd,
Don't use it as a platform to make a political speech. You're in no position to lecture the public about people.
A person's home, it's very easy to understand.
When I look at that video, I don't see both sides in a dogmatic.
The Golden Globe for Best Editing goes to the Justice Department.
This is for her. This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today.
Yes. Of course, this is for the mother.
Babies are upstairs watching. Y'all better be off them damn phones and watching me.
Them. Thank you, everyone. I'm a little in shock about that. Maduro.
Let your hatred and sit this one out.
Well, he's got. Here you go.
$1,500.
Let's see if they get the.
Well,
I want to see them get.
MAGA's going to break up because of Donald Trump's criticism of Robin.
Can sit at either place. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate
So you and your husband were friends.
Everybody knew that wasn't true.
A dangerous relative as a likely suspect. A tip that led to her brother Nick. Rob Reiner and Nick had a heated argument the night before at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party, being back on his own. In one end, she said, "We should have said nothing."
The United States to take this family tragedy in which the president had made no comment.
When people ought to have.
Yeah.
Absolute horror.
Hi, Mel Gibson. I'm in Italy.
There is a quota system.
This is my 6th and last year hosting the Grammys. Song of the Year. Congratulations, Billie Eilish.
And we are a community here today that what we're doing, and we're only going to be able to get any shit done.
And this goes out to all the ICE agents.
Took away the remote control from me.